Over the years, I've been to a lot of institutions that didn't have the easiest of clients. There was one in particular. It was a medium security wing of a prison, where any scissors I weren't using had to be locked away in a cupboard, just in case one particular client, who thought he was best friends with Prince Charles and Robbie Williams, decided that parole wasn't a life choice he'd ever considered. And then there's places like today, the Robert Halliday Centre for the Physically and Mentally Disabled. You come out there with a mixture of sadness, gratitude, and by the grace of whoever, I turned out reasonably normal. My client Danny's appointment is a bit like Forrest Gump's box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, blah, blah, blah. His carer rings me up and tells me how much Danny really wants his hair cut and his beard trimmed. But when I arrive, he starts creating and says he doesn't want it done, he's not coming out of his room. Now, I know I need to be patient, but I haven't got the time to piss about, regardless of your physical or mental state. Eventually, between his carer Adisa and myself, we manage to coax Danny round, and he reluctantly sits in his chair in his room. But this isn't a job I enjoy, unlike the others, of course. Cutting Danny's hair is just a matter of getting the clippers out and doing a number 3 all over. But he's got this rather large, bushy facial muff, and he loves to walk round with his non-surgically attached cup of tea, which he insists on sipping whilst I'm cutting him. Beards, particularly bushy beards, attract food and drink like the Hadron Collider. After a few minutes, I finish cutting his hair. Now's the bit I really look forward to. The removal of a good 90% of his facial friend. So I push his head back so I can access the throat area. But as soon as I do that, it's sprung back into its starting position. The problem he having to crouch down and risk permanent lumbago is that all the bits flying off his beard when I'm shaving it end up all over me. It also means that I've got to be close to his face, and I really want to be. So as I'm shearing Mr. Sean the sheep here, my clippers get locked in a piece of food that I'd forgotten was there from the last time. I managed to skirt my way around it the previous time, but this time, forget it. The clippers were now tugging at it, and it was causing Andy to let out that After a few seconds, I managed to gradually jemmy the clippers off his face and carry on. Then it was time for the bit I really hate. His moustache. Now normally a moustache isn't a problem, but Andy's is so long it's become like a facial biscuit, meaning it gets a regular dunking in a cup of his Yorkshire's finest. So I start clipping, and the tea is splashing all over my fingers, which is making me feel quite Huey and Rolf. Then bits of his moustache are going in his mouth, so he starts fidgeting and spitting it out, which means I'm getting covered in the stuff. Suddenly I've turned into the equivalent of a human porcupine. After wiping Andy's mouth out with some old rag that was laying on the table, Adisa walked back in to check everything was all right. He told me he'd cleared the hair up, which was fine by me. Paid me the money out of Andy's tin. I wrote a receipt out, and I walked back to the car. I did get some funny looks though from some passer-by who thought I was having a fiddle on myself as I frantically tried to remove some of the T-Waller's DNA off my play area. You got to hand it to people like Adisa, who deal with people like Andy day in and day out. It's an amazing and selfless thing that they do. I know I couldn't do it. But then, would you want to be looked after by a miserable fucker like me?